to the second meeting of the Ag Committee for this session, and glad to have everybody here today. And if the Secretary would call the roll.
Senator Carpenter, Senator Givens, Senator Howe, here. Senator Parrott, here. Senator Thayer, here. Senator Webb, here. Senator West, here. Senator Westerfield, Senator Wise, here. Senator Caslin, and Chairman Hornback.
Here.
We have a quorum.
We do have a duly resolved quorum, and I'd like to remind members sort of the way the meeting's going to flow today. We are going to do the resolutions for the appointments first, and I'm going to have each one done individually, and we're going to do a roll call vote with them. I would like them, as the sponsor of the bill, if they would come up to the table. I think Joel Bilby from the Department of Ag is going to be up there, but if the sponsor would come up to the table, we've got 5 that are here in person, we've got 5 that are going to be virtual, and then we've got 3 that couldn't attend in either manner. I would like, when you get up there, to keep your comments short. I'll ask for comments from the sponsor and from the person that's getting appointed or a reappointment, but be sure and keep those short because we do have a very full agenda today. We'd like to remind members that we do have a bill, Senate Bill 148, we'll take action on, and Senate Resolution 26. So we will need a quorum for the entire meeting. So I'd encourage members to be sure and stay around for the entire meeting. I'm going to go a little bit out of order. The ones that made the effort to get here, I'm going to do those first. So first to the table will be Senator John Schickel with Senate Resolution 126. Okay. Senator Thayer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Since we have a large contingent of FFA students in the crowd today, just wanted to let you know a little bit about this process. The Senate, according to the Constitution and some cases statute, has the authority to confirm appointments to certain boards and commissions made by the executive branch, the governor, or in this case, the Commissioner of Agriculture. So these resolutions go through the normal process of being vetted through committee like they are today. And if they're passed favorably through committee, then they go to the full Senate floor for ultimate confirmation, and then those individuals are confirmed for the term that they were appointed to by the member of the executive branch, in this case, the Commissioner of Agriculture. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Damon. And I forgot to introduce the group from the 4-H, Hart County 4-H. If you all would stand up and be recognized, we do have a large group from Hart County 4-H. Senator Schickel.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's an honor to be here today to present my friend David Wallace for his confirmation hearing for the Kentucky Fair Board.
If you'd have your guests introduce themselves first.
Okay.
Hello, my name is David Wallace. I live in Verona, Kentucky, and I'm here for confirmation.
And Joe, you might introduce yourself so everybody knows.
Yes, sir. My name is Joe Bilby. I serve as General Counsel to the Department of Agriculture, and I'm here on behalf of Commissioner Quarles today.
Okay. Sorry about that. Then go ahead, Senator Schickel.
It's an honor to be here today to present my friend David Wallace for his confirmation hearing to the Fair Board. I've known David for probably 35 years, consider him a good friend. I can't think of a person more appropriate to be on the Fair Board. In our own Boone County Fair, which is a world-class fair, he's not only on the Fair Board, he's there every day from morning to evening working, livestock displays, hooking up electric, whatever he's asked to do. He's a hands-on guy. He's not a guy that stands behind the scenes. He's a hands-on guy. He also is president of the only locally owned bank in northern Kentucky, and he's the president of that bank, and they do a great job. Have branches all over northern Kentucky.
Thank you, Senator. David, would you like to tell us a little bit about why you want to be on the board or be reappointed to the board?
Absolutely. Thank you, Senator Hornback, senators. It's a pleasure to be here. My name again is David Wallace. I served on the State Fair Board from 2016 till 2020, and then was went off for just a little while and was reappointed last year by the commissioner. You know, my history with the Kentucky State Fair and the Expo Center goes back to when I was born. I've never missed a Kentucky State Fair. I turned 60 years old this year, showed cattle there. My passion is for agriculture. These 4-H and FFA members, that's what we are here for. One of our the core purpose of the State Fair Board is to support Kentucky agriculture and to highlight it nationally and internationally. You know, the view for the State Fair Board that I have is huge. We've always had a premier facility that we've got the North American Livestock Show, but the competition is growing on us. And my vision for this state fair and the Expo Center and Convention Center is we're going to have to do some major upgrades. You know, you got National Western in Denver that spent $1 billion on their facilities. We've got places in Oklahoma, Grand Island, that are continually upgrading their facilities. We're going to have to work on that. We continue to have a premier facility that serves the Commonwealth. We are an economic driver, not only for Jefferson County, but for the Commonwealth of Kentucky with tourism. So I've got a passion for this. I can tell you, this is absolutely, of all the boards I've ever served on, and I've served on a lot, this is the best board that, as far as the makeup that I've ever served on.
I have a comment, and since there's so many 4-Hers and FFA members here today, there were longer than 35 years ago, unfortunately, Senator Schickel, this horse girl from East Kentucky met that cowboy from West Kentucky, from Princeton, and at 4-H Congress every year. We worked together on policy, we worked together on the governance, and then later on we went to Northern Kentucky University Law School together. So David's also a very accomplished lawyer. But he speaks the truth, and he did an excellent job. Been here a long time, and he did an excellent job during his tenure on the Fair Board. And I don't know of anybody else that would be more committed to the future of youth and animal agriculture in the state of Kentucky. So I'm glad to see David back. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator Webb. Would like to remind everybody that all of these appointees we have today, all of them had meet the statutory requirements to serve on the boards. They've all had background checks. They've been fully vetted. So we'd like to remind everybody that all of these appointees have been through that. Any other comments? If not, I'll take a motion. Senator Thayer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to make the motion that Senate Resolution 126 be reported favorably. Motion same shall pass.
I've got a motion, a second. Any other comments from members? If not, Secretary, call the roll.
Senator Carpenter. Aye. Senator Caslin. Aye. Senator Givens. Senator Howe.
Aye.
Senator Parrott. Aye. Senator Thayer. Aye. Senator Webb. Aye. Senator West. Aye. Senator Westerfield. Senator Wise. Aye. And Chairman Hornback.
Aye. Congratulations, David.
Thank you very much.
Look forward to working with you again. Senator Thayer.
Mr. Chairman, I do think we are at the point of session where it is time to put resolutions like this on the consent calendar. So I'd like to make a motion for consent for Senate Resolution 126.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye for consent. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Thank you, David, for being here today. I appreciate it. Thank you, Senator Schickel. Our next one will be Senate Resolution 116, Senator Girdler. And bring your guest, Michael Peterson, with you, and you all would introduce yourself for the record, and you may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Rick Girdler, State Senator from District 15, where my good buddy Michael is from. Introduce yourself.
I'm Michael Peterson. I'm from Nancy, Kentucky, agribusiness owner and active cattle farmer. We own a vitamin mineral nutrition supplement plant, which is based in Nancy. I was in Lawrenceburg for 40 years, and we moved to Nancy 3 years ago.
Okay.
Michael pretty well, as y'all probably know him as well as I do, as far as in the ag world. He's one of the tops, and I've known his family for years. I've known his in-laws for years. So I uphold him very greatly and hope that this passes unanimously.
Got a motion and a second. I'm going to call on Michael first. If you've got any comments you'd like to make about serving on the Ag Development Board.
Thank you, sir. It's just a great honor in our industry as agriculturalists, and see all these young people behind us. We're always talking about the generational flip. When's the next generation going to take over? And I kind of feel like I have, the Ag Development Board is, 20 plus years, and I feel like there's kind of a flip taking place right now, and certainly honored to be one of the younger board members, have an opportunity to learn before some of the senior board members are retire or step down, and I just consider it an honor and with the highest regard for the purpose of this board and the monies that are allocated to help diversify agriculture in Kentucky, and just very appreciative for the opportunity to serve the Commonwealth and have the opportunity to work for these guys behind us. That's where, like Mr. Wallace said, that's where my focus is on the next generation, because I had people that took care of me the last 20 years in this industry, and I plan on doing the same thing for them.
Well, thank you, Michael, and thank you for being here today.
Yes, sir.
Any members got any comments? If not, I got a motion and a second. Secretary, call the roll.
Senator Carpenter, Senator Caslin, Senator Gibbons, Senator Howe, Senator Parrott, Senator Thayer, Senator Webb, Senator West, Senator Westerfield, Senator Wise, and Chairman Hornback.
Aye.
I'd like to register my vote, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason. Michael, congratulations. It was unanimous. Do you have a motion for consent? Got a motion for consent and a second? Second. All in favor signify by saying aye. All opposed, like sign. Michael, congratulations, and look forward to working with you on the Ag Development Board. Next, we have Senate Resolution 122. Senator Higdon, you and your guests would come up and introduce yourself for the record.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Jimmy Higdon, State Senator.
Good morning, Linda Rumpke. I'm with Columbia Gas, former banker.
You may proceed.
Mr. Chairman, it's my honor to sponsor the Senate resolution to reappoint Linda Rumpke to the Ag Finance Corporation Board. My path crossed her back when I was first elected to state senate, and she came to Bardstown to take over a bank that was in distress. She turned that around, and her reputation precedes her in the banking industry. She's one of the superstars. And as you know, Mr. Chairman, we need people with banking expertise on this Ag Finance Corporation, because the loans have to be made properly, and it helps a lot of young farmers. But the main thing is they have to make loans that get repaid, and Linda's a valuable asset, and I hopefully will reappoint her.
Linda, you got any comments?
I do. It's just been my honor to serve on this board, and we were talking before the hearing started that when I joined, I think we were at 45 million in assets. We're over 100 million now. We are a bank, and I'm very, very proud of how the board works together to ensure that we are getting money out the door to assist, particularly our young farmers, but across the whole ag community. But what I'm really proud of is that we have a spotless lending record, and that says a lot for this board. So,
Yes, it does. Ms. Rumpke, I know you probably know my brother Steve, and I think he's done, Joel, and you correct me if I'm wrong, I think he's done more of these loans than anybody else has in the state, and just a great asset, what the ag finance does for our young farmers, like you said, more than anybody else. So we appreciate that. Any members got any questions? Not to have a motion on the bill? Motion?
Second.
A second. Secretary, call the roll.
Senator Carpenter, Senator Caslin, Senator Givens, Senator Howe,
Aye.
Senator Parrott, Senator Thayer, Senator Webb, Senator West, Senator Westerfield, Senator Wise, and Chairman Hornback.
Aye. Ms. Rumpke, congratulations. Look forward to working with you again on ag finance. Do I have a motion for consent? Motion for consent, second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Ms. Rumpke,
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Senator Higdon, thank you very much. Thank you for bringing
thanks
us
to
an
the
excellent
committee.
candidate. Thank you. Next on the list is I'm the sponsor, and Marshall Cole. Where'd you go to, Marshall? If Marshall to come up to the table. I'm going to remain sitting up here, Marshall, if you don't mind. If you want to introduce yourself for the record.
I'm Marshall Coyle. I am a beef cattle farmer, cow-calf operation from Bath County, Kentucky. My son and I operate together. We cave out, of course, the cows, and then we background the feeder calves. But thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thinking I've known Marshall, I guess, all of my adult life, Marshall. We served in, that is a long time. Hopefully you'll get there, Senator Thayer. But I've known him most all my adult life. I started going to Farm Bureau meetings when I was young. My dad was in Farm Bureau. Marshall was there then. And Marshall is one of those that has made a tremendous commitment for his whole life to serve agriculture. And doing it in a way that he's always respected everywhere he goes. And Marshall, whether it be on the Fair Board, whether it be your years in Farm Bureau, whether it be your years with leadership in tobacco, you've just done an outstanding job. And Marshall is one, if you go down to the State Fair anytime or to the machinery show this week, Marshall's always there and he's always out. And he's out and he's helping the help that's there too. And David Wallace is shaking his head. You know, Marshall's one of those, he's got that farm boy attitude, and if there's work to be done, he's going to get in there and do it. And so he doesn't just go around and point and tell people what to do, but Marshall's out there working. He's probably been shining tractors this week already. But Marshall, I'll turn it over to you for any comments you may have about the Fair Board and why you want to be reappointed again.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I appreciate those kind remarks. You know, I've had the opportunity to serve on the Fair Board for a while. In fact, they call me the old man of the board now, which is fine. But I will tell you, in my mind, we are operating so good right now. It is as smooth as I can ever remember. You know, my heart lies with agriculture. My heart lies with the youth and what we do for them at the fairgrounds. I love being there. You know, Mr. Chairman mentioned about the state fair. I move in the day before the fair starts and move in the day after it's over. When we finish today, I'm headed to Louisville for what I call the big daddy of what we do all year, and that is the National Farm Machinery Show and Tractor Pull. And I will leave out there Sunday morning. My son said leave early. I don't know that I'll quite make it real early. But it is an honor for me to serve on the Kentucky State Fair Board. You know, we've come a long way, folks, with the help that you have given us in helping make improvements and keeping our facility up. But like Mr. Wallace mentioned, we face this challenge every day with other facilities that are building new and doing a lot of remodeling, and we still need your help. I think we've got so much future ahead of us. It looks so bright. And with your help, we're going to make it, and the Fair Board is going to support what it needs to move the Kentucky State Fair forward.
Thank you, Marshall. Got a motion? Second. One thing I would like to remind members, while Marshall's still there, invite all the members out tomorrow night. And be sure to remember, they got a reception at 6 o'clock tomorrow night, Marshall, down at the State Fairgrounds for the National Farm Machinery Show and the Tractor Pull going on tomorrow night. So I want to remind members to maybe our Senate Pro Tem and some of those can get us out a little early so we can make it down there by 6 o'clock tomorrow night. So I have a motion to second. Secretary, call the roll.
Senator Carpenter, Senator Caslin, Senator Givens, Senator Howe.
I'd like to explain my vote.
Yes, go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, in consulting with one of my trusted constituents who claims to have known Mr. Coyle a lot longer of an adult life than you have to bring to the table, in vetting this appointment, I learned a lot about Mr. Cole and everything that he's done for Kentucky agriculture and for the Fair Board, and I enthusiastically am proud to vote aye.
Senator Parrott, Senator Thayer, Senator Webb,
Explain my yes vote. I'd
Senator
like to
Webb.
thank Marshall for his lifetime of service and being a friend to me for not quite as long as you, Mr. Chairman, but a pretty
now.
pretty long time.
Now Senator Webb.
We claim him. we claim him up home as one of us. So he's a good neighbor and a good friend, and we love you and appreciate you. I vote aye.
Senator West, Senator Westerfield, Senator Wise, and Chairman Hornback.
Aye.
Passes.
Congratulations, Marshall. Look forward to your service again and your hard work that you put in down there at the fairground.
Thank
Have
you,
a
and I
motion for consent.
appreciate it. And we'll look forward to seeing you out tomorrow night and any other time you can come visit with us at the Kentucky Exposition Center. Thank you.
Motion for consent and second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Marshall, congratulations. Our next resolution, Senate Resolution 117. If I'd ask Senator Caslin and your guest, Suzanne Cecil White. And if you ought to introduce yourself for the record, and Senator Caslin, you may proceed.
Good morning, committee. I'm Senator Caslin.
I'm Suzanne Cecil White from Owensboro, Davis County.
Well, it is my honor to introduce someone that I don't think I could tell enough about in a minute, what she does for agriculture in our community. I think on every committee, on every board or event that's going on, you see Suzanne around our community representing agriculture and the family that she comes from. I've had the opportunity to know her family most of my life, and you couldn't ask for a finer family in our community. And I think we're going to be blessed here in Kentucky to have such a bright mind serving on the Ag Development Board and bringing such a wealth of knowledge from the agritourism to the production to the entertainment, all the different stuff that they do. And I'm going to turn it over to Suzanne to tell a little bit about herself.
Thank you. As I said, I'm from Owensboro, Davis County, and I've been a farmer for 10 years now. I was formerly a high school math teacher. Never dreamed I'd turn to become a farmer, but my family's been farming my whole life. We've been direct recipients and beneficiaries of the Ag Development Fund and Kentucky Ag Finance. So being appointed to this board is a full circle moment for me. I believe I'm placed there to serve as inspiration and a reminder to young people like these behind us in this room that burning dream in your heart is there for a reason. And it may take till you're in your 40s like me to really realize it and find that backing and support. But, you know, the Ag Development Board and Fund changed my life, changed my family's life, helping us diversify from a heavily tobacco dependent operation, having over 250 acres a year, to being fully diversified and having zero tobacco dependency now, and chasing our dreams. So I'm super grateful to be a part of this, and if nothing else, like I said, to hopefully serve as an inspiration of believing you can, and even when you run into those adult hurdles, kids in the back, it's there for a reason, and there are people that are going to back you, and I'm one of those people when you come in front of the Ag Development Board now.
Ms. White, thank you very much, and you have made a great contribution down there. I haven't met you personally, but I've heard a lot about you from down in the Davies County area. And one comment that you made is how important how we've diversified away from tobacco. And there was some at a meeting the other day we were in 2000, our revenue for the state of Kentucky in ag was about $3 billion. Over a third of that was tobacco. And for those members of the legislature that have been here a lot longer than I have, Senator Webb, they now this past year, it was 4% of the total income for the state of Kentucky. So when you talk about diversification, in 20 years' time, the impact that Ag Development Board has touched everybody that's involved in agriculture. It's quite an honor for you to get appointed on there.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments? Not to have a motion? Got a motion, a second? Secretary, call the roll.
Senator Carpenter, Senator Caslin,
Aye.
Senator Givens, Senator Howe,
Aye.
Senator Parrott, Senator Thayer, Senator Webb, Senator West, Senator Westerfield, Senator Wise, and Chairman Hornback.
Aye. Motion passes. Ms. White, congratulations. To have a motion for consent. A motion, a second, and a second for consent. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. It goes on consent. So thank you very much for being here today, for making the trip. I hope you didn't make the trip quite as fast as Senator Castlin does. Sometimes I worry that he may be skirting the law. Our next appointment, Senator Givens, is Senate Resolution 114, and I think your guest is virtual.
Excellent, and I may stay up here if it's appropriate, Mr. Chairman.
That's fine.
Thank you. I am honored to present Senate Resolution 114, supporting the reappointment of Fritz Gieske to the Ag Development Board, representing Kentucky Farm Bureau. I think the one thing that I would recommend all members mark in his resume that resonated with me is something that we don't see day in and day out. He's a farmer. It doesn't talk about him being a banker that farms. It doesn't talk about him being a business owner that farms. It simply says he's a farmer. And on the Ag Development Board, which is so impactful and so important across our Commonwealth, it's great that we have those voices on this board. And so I appreciate the commissioner putting up this nomination for reappointment, and I proudly support the resolution and would hope that Mr. Gieske might have some advice for us about how life on the farm is today.
Mr. Gieske, are you there?
If he were there, he would tell you it's really good.
Yeah, tell us what he would say.
Great day to be a farmer in Kentucky. If it's appropriate, Mr. Chairman, I will move for adoption of the resolution.
Thank you, Senator Givens. The second? Secretary, call the roll.
Senator Carpenter, Senator Castlin, Senator Givens, Senator Howe, Senator Parrott, Senator Thayer, Senator Webb, Senator West, Senator Westerfield, Senator Wise, and Chairman Hornback.
Aye. And the motion carries. Do you have a motion for consent?
Second.
The motion second. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Motion for consent carries. Congratulations. Our next appointment will be, is Senator Storm here?
Yes.
Senator Storm? And I think you've got Senate Resolution 125, and I think that your guest is here virtually.
That's correct, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
Committee members, Mr. Chairman, I'm here in support of Senate Resolution 125, which would appoint Michael Edward Pointer, who is virtual with us today, to the State Fair Board. This would codify an executive order issued by the Commissioner of Agriculture, Ryan Quarles, 2021-005, that would appoint Mr. Pointer to the State Fair Board expiring May 10th, 2025. He is a representative of the Kentucky Association of Fairs and Horse Shows. He's a pillar of the community and from Lincoln County, and I think he's here as well, virtual, and he may have some comments for the committee.
That sounds great. Mr. Pointer, are you there? I think you're muted. If you could unmute and give us a few words about serving on the State Fair Board.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Well, I appreciate the honor of being on the Fair Board. It's been a pleasure. And I've served on several boards myself, and this is the hardest working, most dedicated board I've ever been on. Thanks for the opportunity to serve again.
Well, thank you for your contributions. You served for a while, and it's always enjoyable to work with you. And you representing all of our county fairs all over the state, we appreciate you taking the time to serve on the State Fair Board.
Thank you.
Any other comments? You have a motion?
Motion. Second.
Got a motion and a second. Secretary, call the roll.
Senator Carpenter, Senator Castlin, Senator Givens, Senator Howe, Senator Parrott, Senator Thayer, Senator Webb, Senator West, Senator Westerfield, Senator Wise, and Chairman Hornback.
Aye.
Motion.
Congratulations. Michael, on being reappointed to the State Fair Board. Look forward to working with you in the future.
Thank you.
Huh? Not just one step in the process. Do I have a motion for consent? Have a second? All in favor of motion for consent, say aye. All opposed, like sign. Michael, like Senator Thayer said, you're one step closer. Thank you very much for being with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Storm.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Our next resolution will be Senate Resolution 120. Is Senator Nemes here? There he is. Senator Nemes, and I think that your appointment is here virtual with us also.
Is he?
I think. Larry Jaggers. He was there, and they said he's gone now.
I guess he got bored.
Senator Nemes.
No, he is here.
Oh, he is there.
Okay. This resolution is to confirm Larry Brown Jaggers to the Kentucky Agriculture Finance Corporation Board of Directors. And, we try to put the senators match them up with the people. But this young fella, he lives in Hardin County, and I'm from Bullitt. But I think what they mixed up is he wants to live in Bullitt. So, and he's welcome to come over, or Bullitt might want to just annex Hardin County. But this guy, I looked him up, and it's been impressive. He's 47 years he's been running a dairy farm. It started a family dairy farm and built it to an enormous farm there in Hardin County. And his sons are running it now, so he doesn't have to do the hard work, but he doesn't want to retire. So he's doing these kind of things, and I'm very much for this guy after reading his long resume that I won't do here. And I think most of his success has been because of his wife, Carol. Because I don't think he'll deny that. So without further, if he would like to say anything, that would be great.
Mr. Jaggers, you got some comments? Where's he at? Is he on there?
But he's just.
Mr. Jaggers, are you still on there? Well, I guess we've lost him for some reason.
Well, I move for passage of this resolution.
Do what? Okay, it's got to be somebody on the committee.
Okay.
Anybody else got any comments? Senator Parrott, you got any comments? Mike.
He is from Hardin County, and he is a longtime farm family. They showed at the state fair for years and been active in everything in Hardin County agriculture, and it's a wonderful family. And Larry, the son, Larry is following the footsteps of his families, and a great family. And this is a nice honor for them. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Parrott. And Senator Parrott, you made a motion, didn't you? You have a second? Second. Secretary, call the roll.
Senator Carpenter, Senator Caslin, Senator Givens, Senator Howe,
Aye.
Senator Parrott,
Aye.
Senator Thayer, Senator Webb, Senator West, Senator Westerfield, Senator Wise, and Chairman Hornby.
Aye. And the motion carries. Do I have a motion for consent? Motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. The motion carries.
Thank you,
Senator
Mr. Chairman.
Nemes, thank you very much for making that presentation today.
Thank you.
Our next resolution, Senate Resolution 119. Senator Wise.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. May I stay here in the seat?
Yes,
my
that'd
guest
be
is
great.
virtual. Thank you so much. Senate Resolution 119 is for a dear friend of mine, and when we say we've known someone our entire life, it is someone that I definitely. That being Mr. Dan Flanagan. I've known Dan from a lot of capacities as a work in the Taylor County community. First with Campbellsville College. Dan was instrumental in my mom's first year of coaching in 1975 of probably helping to provide budgetary resources to her and picking up meals and for her basketball team on travel games to and from. And also his work within our community with agriculture. There is no better man of integrity and a man of his faith than Dan Flanagan. He has sat on many boards, that being AgriBank and Farm Credit Council Board of Directors. He was also inducted into the Kentucky Poultry Federation Hall of Fame. And I fully support Dan's nomination to the Kentucky Ag Finance Board. And I know Dan's joined us online if he wants to make any comments.
Thank you, Senator Wise. Can you all hear me okay?
Yes, we can. Good to see you today.
Thank you. Good to see you, Chairman. Thank you so much. I am Dan Flanagan, Taylor County. I'm what you would call a first-generation farmer. I started when I was 18 years old on rented ground with borrowed equipment, and we've been in the farming business up until now. We are involved in grain farming, produce, wholesale, and retail, as well as we've been involved in the poultry industry for many, many years, and been honored and blessed to serve on that board, and as well as chair of that board for many years. And as Senator Max said, I've been involved in higher education, served for 14 years on the Council for Post-Secondary Education. I've had the honor and the privilege of serving on many agriculture boards here in Kentucky, as well as regional and national boards on AgriBank's board, which funds the farm credit system in 22 states. It's a $100 billion bank. So I served on that board for 4 years and was honored to serve on the National Farm Credit Council for about that many years out of D.C. I am so thankful and pleased that Senator Max Wise introduced me. I've known him since he was running around in diapers, and he's sort of outgrown that just a little bit. And we're in Taylor County are so proud and so thankful for him. I'm also very pleased to receive this nomination by Ag Commissioner Ryan Quarles, a very good close friend of mine that I've worked with since his student days. Looking forward to working with the Ag Finance Corporation. I hope that my experiences with farm credit, with agriculture, with education, and my experience in the agricultural community can bring some asset to that board, and I certainly hope that I can do that. I have worked with young people through the college and other avenues for so many, many years, and that's sort of my passion, Senator Hornback, to make sure that we pass on to our young people this farming opportunities that are there, and this Ag Finance Board certainly is part of that. And thank you, Chairman Hornback, Senator Max, for this opportunity to make this presentation. Thank you all.
Well, thank you, Dan, for being here today. And you can see that Dan is probably one that's overly qualified with his experience and background in ag finance and serving on the national boards. But, Dan, I've known you a long time, and you do a great job in your service to agriculture, so thank you. Do you have a motion on the bill?
Thank you.
Got a motion? A second? Secretary, call the roll.
Senator Carpenter, Senator Caslin, Senator Gibbons, Senator Howe, Senator Parrott,
Aye.
Senator Thayer, Senator Webb, Senator West, Senator Westerfield, Senator Wise, and Chairman Hornback.
Aye. And the motion passes. Do I have a motion for consent? A motion for consent? A second. All in favor, signify by saying aye. All opposed, like sign. Motion for consent carries. Dan, thank you very much for being here today.
Thank you so much, and thanks to the Ag Committee. Thank you.
Well, thank you. And our next Senate resolution is Senate Resolution 118. Dr. Douglas, Senator Douglas. And Dr. Douglas is one of our most recent addition to the Senate, and just an outstanding addition. Dr. Douglas, it's an honor to have you here today.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, committee. I appreciate the honor of presenting Mr. Kenneth Burdine for nomination to the Agriculture Finance Corporation Board of Directors in Senate Resolution 118. Mr. Chairman, I know you're very familiar with Mr. Burdine and his extensive resume. He holds a PhD in agricultural economics from the University of Kentucky. His professional experience includes 2 decades of service with the Department of Agricultural Economics, where he currently serves as Associate Extension Professor. He has received numerous awards in his work and has an extensive list of peer review research publication. Mr. Burdine is here via Zoom, and should there be any questions, I'm sure he'll be happy to answer them.
Mr. Burdine, would you like to make some comments?
I would. Thank you very much. Hope you can hear me okay. I apologize for not being there in person. I'm actually at the Southern Ag Econ Association meetings, so I'm hoping the hotel Wi-Fi holds up here. I'm joining from my hotel room. And I'm going to apologize too. I may have to slip out before it's over. I've actually got to deliver the Southern Dairy Outlook here in about 15, 20 minutes or so. So apologies for that. But certainly I want to begin by thanking Senator Dr. Douglas, and I certainly want to thank Mr. Quarles for the appointment. Certainly want to thank you, Mr. Chairman, and the committee for considering the confirmation of my appointment. So I was thinking about this briefly. I guess the comment that I would make about, why I really appreciate the opportunity to serve on the Ag Finance Board. I kept thinking about a picture of my father and I when I was a freshman in high school, and we were standing. We had just topped what was the tobacco crop we were most proud of when I was a freshman there, about 14 years old. And in a lot of ways, tobacco money is what put me through school. I've said that many times. And it's just an honor to serve on a board that really exists, I think, in a loan pool because of how our state chose to invest some of those tobacco settlement dollars. And I think that's something that everybody in that room and a lot of other folks have a lot to be proud of. So I think that the work of the Ag Finance Board certainly matters. I think it makes a difference. Mr. Chairman, I'm just glad to be a small part of that. So thank you so much to everyone.
Thank you for being here with us today. Do I have a motion on the bill? Motion and a second. Secretary, call the roll.
Senator Carpenter. Aye. Senator Caslin. Senator Givens.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to briefly explain my aye vote.
Yes, go ahead, Senator Givens.
Kenny Burdine, thanks for all your work and your continued work and your leadership across our Commonwealth. The application of the knowledge from our research institution down to the farm level only happens through talent like you, and we appreciate you leading in that effort. Thank you, and I proudly vote aye.
Senator Howe. Aye. Senator Parrott. Aye. Senator Thayer. Aye. Senator Webb. Senator West. Aye. Senator Westerfield. Senator Wise. And Chairman Hornback.
Aye. The motion carries. There's motion for consent. Got a motion, second. All in favor of consent, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. The motion carries. Kenneth, thank you for being here with us today. It'd be an honor to have you on the Ag Finance Board.
Thank you so much, everyone.
And thank you, Senator Douglas.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Our next is Senator West, Senate Resolution 115. And I don't know, is your guest?
She's not online.
No.
Okay, she's not on there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. If it's appropriate, I'll stay up here to present. I would ask for favorable expression of Senate Resolution 115 for Brenda Paul. Known Brenda and her husband Austin for a long time. And my two resolutions here are going to sound like a broken record. The Pauls, especially Brenda, is a pillar in the Bourbon County ag community, a pillar in the state ag community, and like Senator Givens, individual, lifelong farmers, embedded in ag, and great addition to the Kentucky Ag Development Board. And I really like this committee. This is one of those real good committee meetings, Mr. Chairman, where you feel the love, peace, hope, and love today all around. But just a really good lady and great addition, and I would ask for favorable expression, 115.
Thank you. Do I have a second? Secretary, call the roll.
Senator Carpenter. Senator Caslin. Senator Givens. Senator Howe.
Aye.
Senator Parrott. Senator Thayer. Senator Webb.
If I could explain my vote, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, go ahead, Senator West.
I would like to reiterate the words said about Brenda. And, you know, you all have heard from Suzanne. She was here personally. And for these young ladies in the group, I think it's important that we have examples of what women in agriculture can do, and that options are available for you. And there could be barriers and obstacles, but you certainly have mentors. And these are women that you can call on, I can call on, and help women in agriculture do like they do in every other business. So I'm proud to cast an aye vote for my friend. Thank you.
Senator West.
I'd like to explain my vote, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, go ahead, Senator West.
Vote aye, and I failed to mention that the reason Brenda couldn't be here today is she's at a cattle meeting today.
Yeah.
And I know I see Dave Maples there in the back. I think he fully supports this person for the committee. Thank you.
Senator Westerfield, Senator Wise, and Chairman Hornback.
Aye. Motion carries. Do I have a motion for consent? A second? All in favor signify by saying aye. All opposed, like sign, and the motion for consent carries. Thank you, Senator West. And our last on the appointments is Senate Resolution 124. Is Senator Adams? I don't think she's here. I'll take the liberty of presenting hers for. Mark Lynn is somebody that I got to know just a few years ago, and mainly got to know him here in this Ag Committee meeting. And there's several of us that are with around the Fair Board that know Dr. Lynn. And even though he is not from the ag community, he learned pretty quick that the ag community doesn't back down. And that's very evident. He's been a great friend to agriculture, a great friend to Jefferson County. And if you look at the Lynn Stadium and the contributions he's made, he's somebody that's done a good job. He's served us on the board, and he's chair of the State Fair Board. So with that, I'll make a motion for approval of Senate Resolution 124. Have we got a second?
Senator Carpenter, Senator Caslin, Senator Givens.
Aye. Who did that?
Senator Howe.
Aye.
Senator Parrott. Senator Thayer. Senator Webb. Senator West. Senator Westerfield. Senator Wise. And Chairman Hornback.
Aye. Have a motion for consent? Motion is second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. And it's on consent. I skipped over one. Sorry about that, Senator West, but Senate Resolution 121. And I think Mr. Penn maybe is on virtual. I didn't forget you, Frank.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. While he's getting on, proud to introduce the Senate Resolution 121 for Frank Penn. Much like Mrs. Paul, Mr. Penn is a pillar in the Bourbon County ag community, pillar in the state ag community, and lifelong farmer, invested in ag. This would be an appointment to the Kentucky Ag Finance Corporation Board of Directors. And Mr. Penn, I believe, does cattle, horses, tobacco, cattle, whatever order you want to put them in, has for years, and just a really good person to be on this board, and I believe he is online, and if he wants to say a few words, that would be wonderful.
Thank you, Senator West. I appreciate those comments. I'm a second-generation farmer whose tobacco supported his horse habit for all of his life. And then when tobacco kind of went down the road, horses and other avenues, sod and stuff had to step up. My service on the Ag Finance Corporation has been one of the highlights of my life because I've been able to see money that was generated by the tobacco industry be used for diversification and especially help young farmers. The price of our land has gotten to the point to where For anybody to start in agriculture, they've got to have a leg up, and consistent financing over fixed term is a great way to help our young farmers. I would hope that as we go forward with the maturity of both the Ag Development Board and the Ag Finance Board, that we're not just trying to find out things that might work. We're finding things that do work. And agriculture will be certainly better off going forward. And it's a bright future for young people in agriculture. And I'm proud to be a part of it. Thank you for your nomination.
Thank you, Mr. Penn. Senator Webb.
I'd like to thank Frank for his lifetime of service as well, and being such an institutional, having that institutional knowledge since the beginning of this, and that we've all relied on for advice through the years. And certainly the equine livestock community is thankful to have him there. And, we're a big segment of the Kentucky bottom line, and I think Frank is a good steward of the money and a good businessman, and I appreciate his service. So I fully endorse his nomination.
Senator Webb.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Like so many members of this committee, Mr. Chairman, I've known Frank Penn for a long time from his service on the Georgetown College Board of Trustees, through his involvement with the Farm Bureau, and his involvement with the Kentucky Equine Education Project. You haven't lived, Mr. Chairman, until you've traveled from Georgetown to Frankfort on I-64 and passed Frank Penn driving a horse van, driving one of his mares to be bred to a Kentucky stallion. That is dedication. Most people don't drive their vans themselves; they hire someone else to do it. And Frank is a hands-on farmer. And if it's in order, Mr. Chairman, I would move for passage of Senate Resolution 121.
Second. Thank you. Got a motion and a second. Secretary, call the roll.
Senator Carpenter. Senator Caslin. Senator Gibbons. Senator Howe.
Aye.
Senator Parrott. Senator Thayer. Senator Webb. Senator West. Senator Westerfield. Senator Wise. And Chairman Hornback.
I'm going to explain my aye vote. It's an honor to vote aye for somebody like Frank Penn, because Frank is one of those. I've served on him with a lot of tobacco committees. I saw him with trying to transition out of tobacco and other things. And if there was ever a name in the tobacco circles especially that everybody recognized, it was the Penn name, and what Frank did and the contributions he's made to that, and then carried that on out after the tobacco on the ag development and other things to help Kentucky transition. And Frank, it's an honor to vote aye for you today.
Thank you, Senator.
Motion carries. We have motion consent. Motion consent and second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. And the motion for consent carries. Frank, congratulations. You've moved a step further.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
I'm going to step down for a minute now and turn the meeting over to Senator Cass.
Senator, if you want to start with Senate Resolution 26, introduce yourself and explain, please.
Senator Paul Hornback from the 20th District, which, I don't really know where that's at anymore, but I don't think I live in my district. Thank you, Senator Thayer. Senate Resolution 26 is a resolution we've done most every year. It's for Food Checkout Week, which is February 20th through the 26th. It's recognizing the farmers for helping provide citizens with the most nutritious and affordable food in the world. And to tell you how important food is, and I'm not going to read the whole thing, but just to tell you how important food is, and we've heard a lot on the news lately about Russia and Ukraine. And I know where most people are really and really know why Russia's thinking about invading Ukraine, but one of the main reasons they are is the rich agricultural heritage of the Ukraine. Russia wants to stabilize their food supply, not be dependent on other countries for food supply. And one of the main reasons they're threatening with that, would like to have the country of Ukraine, is for the abundant food supply that they produce. That's the importance in this world that's placed on agriculture and food supply. And Mr. Chairman, I appreciate that. And if it's in order, I'll make a motion for passage of Senate Resolution 26.
We have a motion and a second. Secretary, please call the roll.
Senator Carpenter, Senator Caslin.
I'll explain my aye vote real quick. The food checkoff week, I could see the Blue Jackets sitting down here in the crowd, and I can remember when I was in high school, and we would work the grocery that week and help bag the goods and stuff. And I think something significant to even bring a little more to it is, not only do we have the most abundant food supply in this country, but we have some of the cheapest food in the world. And this week also signifies the amount of time that an average family normally would work from the beginning of the year to now to be able to pay for its food for the entire year, versus other nations in the world that don't have this. They have to work so many more days to be able to have the kind of food supply we have.
Senator Givens, Senator Howe,
Aye.
Senator Parrott, Senator Thayer, Senator Webb, Senator West, Senator Westerfield, Senator Wise, and Chairman Hornback.
Aye.
It passes. Do we have a motion for consent? We have a motion. We have a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Yep. Senator Givens.
Typically, this is something that you like to speak about on the floor, but if you wish to just let it go, it's whatever.
I think probably I would be better off speaking on the floor.
I think this may be
I'd
better
like
off
to let
not on
people know.
consent.
Let's just take it off consent. if
Okay,
that's
can I have whoever made the motion to? All right, remove, second remove. All right, motion's removed. So next on the agenda is Senate Bill 148.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm going to ask my guests to come up here. Senator Paul Hornback from the 20th District.
Good morning, everyone. Matthew Gosnell. I'm with App Harvest. I'm Director of State and Local Government Affairs. Pardon me, guys. This is Matthew Gosnell from App Harvest. I am the State and Local Director of Government Affairs.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I might proceed. What this does, and the reason we're running this bill, it's an issue that we've been working on for about 4 years now with controlled environment agriculture facilities. And I might put a shout out to Building and Housing Director, our Commissioner, Rick Rand, and how well they worked with us this year on trying to get this done. We're trying to make some exemptions. As you all well know, App Harvest runs a large greenhouse facility, controlled environment facility for growing tomatoes, and they're also expanding into greens and berries and some other things. We've got another group that's just announced they're coming into northern Kentucky to do much the same thing. And in the past, we've had exemptions on the sprinkler systems and that for the growing area, but not for the pack houses. And if any of you all ever been to one of these facilities, and I'm sure Senator Carpenter has because he's got a big one right there next to him, there's not much chance of fire or damage or something in those buildings the way they're set up and with what the materials that they use. I might say that in this, we do allow for them not to have some of the extensive sprinklers they've got in those pack house areas. We still do require the sprinklers, Senator Givens, in some of the places like where they have the turbines and fuel stored and those type of things. This is for areas that are serving or includes sorting, packing, shipping of fresh, ready-to-consume products, and it does not allow access to the public or retail sales. So with that, I'll turn it over to Matt if he's got some very short comments.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for your consideration today, everyone. We're the new kid on the block in agriculture in the state. We've been very lucky to have a lot of support from a lot of you guys, a lot of local business and local policymakers. This seeks to define what controlled environment agriculture is, and this is going to be really helpful for more than just the building code. We had trouble up front with financing institutions talking about, manufacturing versus industrial versus agriculture. We think this helps make the case this is firmly agriculture. We think that this is going to establish Kentucky as a place where this is going to thrive going forward. And we think this is going to be a first step to really unleashing what the potential for $10 billion sector where we think this controlled environment space is going in the years ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We have a senator with a question. Senator Givens.
Mr. Chairman, briefly, and thank you. And I think your explanation probably alleviated my concerns, not that they're high-level concerns, but really all we're doing is a definition here.
Yes, that's all we're doing is a definition.
We're not exempting anybody by way of the definition. So are we leaving it to housing and building to do the exemption after the definition is in statute?
They're going to be doing the exemptions and the regs on that.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Senator Carpenter.
Senator Hornback, thank you for bringing it up. It is in my district. There's two big facilities, and one in Berea right beside one of my farms that I have, so I drive by it pretty often, and another one out in the county that's a huge facility. It's been a big part of our community, and we're glad to have them. But I'm in the construction business. This isn't about a safety issue or putting people in harm. It's just about making sure that you're providing a cost-effective way to be able to provide a service. And, there's not a need for these. Sometimes the building codes get kind of crazy, and it's one hat fits everybody, and that's not the case. And so it's cost prohibitive to provide some of these things. So like Senator Givens said, this just gives that definition to be able to do that. So it's not about safety. Sometimes people think that we're doing things that's going to put people's lives in danger, and that's not what we're doing at all. We're just wanting to make sure that we're allowing them to provide a service and be able to afford to be able to do it. But these facilities are amazing. If you guys have not seen one, it's state of the art. They've put this one up in Berea. It's probably about 25 acres under roof, and it just every time I drive by there, the whole facility now is under roof now, and it's just amazing to see. And so we'll be glad to see cars in the parking lot and produce going out the door and people being employed. So we appreciate you being in our communities.
Senator Webb.
My question is, are there other states that have existing regulations for similar definitional construct?
Yes, the way the challenge here is the dual use. The way the Housing and Building Code looks at one facility and potential more than one use under one roof, that is fairly unique in Kentucky. So this is a way to look at just this sector and say this doesn't really make a lot of sense for controlled environment ag. But this does exist in places like West Virginia, North Carolina, Michigan, California, Arizona, places that have attracted billions of dollars in controlled environment investment.
So there's satisfactory workable regulatory schemes in other states that our administrative agency can borrow from and implement that is satisfactory for safety and business both.
Yes, ma'am. We have shared language already and had multiple meetings with the building code folks and have talked through the specifics of that technical language, how they would look at us. And it's not so much an exemption as just declaring that we're going to probably be a low hazard factory as opposed to moderate, because we have cardboard in there that supports our plants and water. So
I think it's important to have that definitional clarity in the agency. So thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
We've had some folks in our district that have dealt with things that are very similar to this, being a large agriculture district. And sometimes when it falls under that umbrella of the building code, agriculture is growing to an industrial size things, but sometimes don't need to necessarily follow those same things. And so I think what you're doing here is a good definition change to be able just to help clear that up and to be able to help the ag industry as well. So do we have a motion for the bill? Motion. We have a motion. We have a second. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Senator Carpenter. Aye. Senator Caslin. Aye. Senator Givens. Senator Howe.
Aye.
Senator Parrott. Aye. Senator Thayer. Aye. Senator Webb. Senator West. Aye. Senator Westerfield. Senator Wise. And Chairman Hornback.
Aye.
Passes.
It passes. So just a few announcements here before we adjourn. So next week we will not be having an ag committee meeting due to it being a short week. And I would encourage everybody that's listening at home and that's in the crowd this week, we have David Beck here, the CEO of our Kentucky Exposition Center. And one of the biggest weeks in our communities going on here in the state that brings people from all over the world. The Farm Machinery Show. I can remember going as a kid, getting pulled around in a little Red Ryder wagon, and look forward to taking my kids this year. And so we thank you for being here and hope you have a wonderful week and hope we pull people from all over to come see what the great state of Kentucky has to offer.
Mr. Chairman, if you don't mind, could we have Mr. Beck come up just for a minute and make a brief explanation of what's going on down at the Machinery Show?
Yes.
Down at the fairgrounds?
Yes, if you want to make your way here to the table, introduce yourself and give us a little briefing of what's going on, please.
Well, thank you, and I'll be brief, but if you have questions, I'll be glad to try to address those. Kentucky Venues on the State Fair Board, we have about 325 events a year, about 125 at our downtown convention center, and about 200 exposition center. So that's a lot of people, about 4 million people coming through our properties prior to COVID. We finished this last year at about 75% of what we were at COVID. So we're coming back, we're growing the business. But to give you just an idea how important the National Farm Machinery Show is, of those 325 events, this one show that lasts for 4 days is about 20% of our operating revenue. At one show itself is that important to demonstrate the importance of agriculture to the Commonwealth and our nation. So it's pretty exciting to see that. And this week we open at 9 o'clock each morning. We close at 5. We have the tractor pull every night at 7 and at noon on Saturday. So hopefully people will come and be a part of it. I was telling our staff the other day, our management team, that much of what we enjoy in our homes, in our businesses, in our society, for its technology and industry, came from agriculture. A farmer had an idea, they developed it. Maybe an agribusiness took it to the next level, or one of our universities did some research. That's how things have progressed. And so you look at a lot of things we utilize every day, much of it started in that production. So we'll have a lot of non-ag people coming in as well. And I think that's important as part of our mission to tell the story. Let me just mention something briefly, some of our goals that we have for our facilities and what we're trying to do. Our goal is to take care of our client, and we compete with people not just in North America, but even around the world for business. To do that, you have to have good facilities, competitive facilities, but also you have to have good people to be able to provide the service, and we have to take care of both of those. And that's been a challenge, but also one of our goals to continue to work to our end. We ask our people every day to work like their job depends on it, make decisions like they own it, bring some private sector concepts to the marketplace that we can utilize to move forward. I just want to mention that. One of our goals, in addition to that, is to be profitable. If you go back and look at our results over the last 4 years, you've got to go back several years to see us moving in that direction. Our goal is, even though we generate a lot of tax money for the Commonwealth and provide a lot of jobs, our goal is to get back to eventually, like it was many years ago, where annually these properties can send Frankfurt a check. And I think we'll get to that point. The North American, largest purebred livestock show in the country, the Championship Horse Show, well known throughout the world, one of the biggest. We even had the largest rock concert in North America. So we do lots of business and lots of facilities at some of the largest trade shows. And thank you to the members of the General Assembly for all the support you provided. Much that we've been able to accomplish the last 2 or 3 years will not have happened without your support. Thank you for understanding its value. Thank you for your assistance. You're always welcome. And we need your ideas and suggestions as you visit the properties and have ideas how we can improve. Thank you for the opportunity.
Just
yours.
One short comment, Mr. Chairman, before you go, and David touched on it just a little bit. 67% of the bookings for hotels in Jefferson County are due to Kentucky Venues. Isn't that correct, Mr.
Yes,
Beck?
68 to 70%. Yes.
Yeah, that much of the bookings for hotel rooms are due to that facility. So you can see the economic impact it has directly to Jefferson County, but it's to all the other counties around there too. So, you know, that's a great facility down there. It's one that we have to keep up. We've got other facilities around the nation that we've got to compete with that are spending well over $1 billion on remodeling their facilities and upgrading their facilities. So it's something we need to look at, we need to focus on, and it's a jewel that we have here in the state of Kentucky.
You know, and Chairman, we talk about economic impact. I know in my community there in Owensboro, there's a lot of businesses that will close this week because they're attending the Farm Machinery Show and they're exhibiting there and they've got their companies there representing them. And I know it's meant a lot to me. I remember the first time I got that 10 by 10 booth in the South Wing at 20 years old as a young whippersnapper getting into business. And the amount of people that you could reach in that 4-day event was amazing. So it's great for our state and it's great for our small business to be able to go showcase what they do.
My first time to 10 was when I was in middle school as well, and I've grown up doing that throughout the years. And when I walked through the property last night, seeing almost 900 exhibitors there, seeing the dirt finalizing in Freedom Hall, knowing we're ready to go with that, it's pretty amazing to see the number of people and the effort put forth to make this happen. But one just little tidbit too, when we finished the tractor pull Saturday night, all of those 33 tons of dirt will be removed so we can play basketball for Bellarmine at noon on Sunday afternoon.
Well, if there's no other comments, this meeting is adjourned.
okay. I missed your call earlier. I was in the meeting. Okay, well, that just works.
Yeah, no, that's all fine.
I got.
Sit down if you need to.
Oh, I'm okay. As long as I don't bend it or straighten it too far. I get an MRI tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
I know you Franchise Cage.
Yes,
We just got Jackson educational exemption, so he can work for me.
Pretty solid.